Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to X Marks the Box, an Xbox podcast. My name is Potato Chief or Lewis. I have my good friend here, Alice. Hello, Alice.
Hi.
And today is
So,
and I was going to say today is the final episode ever. This is the end of the show, as you know it. Well, on this channel anyway.
not as panned out to be. So I think it's just particularly worth trying to wrap things up on this channel. But it's been good, really.
Yeah.
Been good.
So the Potato Chief, you might know, if you've been watching it from the Potato Chief channel, you might have noticed the channel is now called PotatoProWrestling. We're going to discuss a little bit more about that later, but essentially we've moved this podcast over to its own channel now, which is called X Marks the Box, which will have all Xbox highlights and the podcast highlights, reactions, and whatever gaming videos we would like to come up with and do. So we'll discuss that a bit more later on. But let's try and get into the show. So, what have you been playing today? Or recently, I suppose?
Well, I think last week we didn't go through that segment there because we had to focus ourselves on the spoiler cast. So I also have news that has come from next week too. Anyway, I've been playing a lot of Paladins. As soon as I finished up with the Power Wash Simulator, which I got 1,000 gamer score for.
Oh, nice.
I didn't come back to it since.
Oh.
And I've also fully completed As Dusk Falls by being focusing on the Paladins because I found out the Ruby crossover pass finishes on 17th of August, which means I have much catch up to do. However, I just noticed the Trials of a Worm, it's got some interesting rewards. You can get more crystals and coins. So I've been working on that, and I've been experimenting with lots of different heroes, which I end up gotten used to the game, and now it's just really fun. So I just tend to keep playing on it, even though it's not as good as a quality as Overwatch.
All right.
But it's definitely better than Overwatch in some ways because you can have purchases across Xbox and Switch.
Oh, okay.
And I think you've got a bit more variety there, and they seem to be giving more content there. Whereas with Overwatch, I think the Overwatch microtransaction system is similar.
Yeah.
Except you don't have to rely on loot boxes all the time. You do have a choice when it comes to opening chests, which are literally loot boxes.
Yeah.
But you also have choices where you can get skins or you do challenges to get more items. So yeah, just been playing on the Xbox.
Okay.
And I think the Switch has got me interested. I can now get Minecraft on the Switch too. But you do have a Nintendo membership for that.
Yeah.
Unlike Paladins, you don't need a Nintendo account membership for it.
Okay.
So yeah.
So you don't need the Nintendo Online to play online on Paladins. Okay. So is it so you say it's cross purchase? Is it cross save then as well?
Yes.
Okay. That's
All you need to do is you create a high-res account.
yeah.
Then you just need to link it up with your Xbox, which you then need to transfer the purchases over. And as long as you link up accounts on the high-res website, you can get progression on, say, the Nintendo Switch or the Steam.
Yeah.
But the only thing you can't do is you transfer the purchases to the PlayStation, because cross-platform is not supported on the PlayStation, unlike with Fortnite.
Right, okay, fair enough. PlayStation are always the awkward ones when it comes to crossplay. They the last holdouts. Yeah, during the court case that was out recently, it came out the PlayStation charged people to put crossplay in their games, and if people play play more on the other consoles, they want to be compensated and stuff like that. It's ridiculous. I can't stand that stuff. Very anti-consumer, but yeah. So hopefully they'll fix that. Yeah. So
speaking of cross progression, though, I also went to Fall Guys only to see if I can link up the accounts, and I finally got over to my Steam, where I got the progress for Fall Guys on one of the computers I rarely use.
Yeah.
I signed in, and turns out I don't have any of the progression I did on the PC version, and I don't think I got the achievements either. I would check again and see if it transfers over.
Yeah.
But it says here that if you were to hook up your game, the first game you hook up to Epic Games account, you transfer the purchases over, which means if you've been playing on Xbox but haven't touched the Steam version before the Epic Games take over,
Yeah.
then you will risk losing the progress on the PC version.
Oh.
Maybe I'm wrong, because I need to go check if I still got the stuff on the PC version, but it looks like I may have lost the progress on the PC version, which is just a shame, because I did actually got achievements on the Steam version.
All right.
But for some reason I didn't unlock them on the Xbox version, so it's a bit of a failure.
Yes, because I played it on the PS4 and then I moved over to the Xbox and it worked seamlessly. So it's weird that it works on PlayStation to Xbox, but PC to Xbox seems to have this issue. That's a bit of a shame.
One question though, when the Epic takes over, was it? If they were you playing on the PlayStation 4 version after the Epic Games took over the companies responsible for it?
I started playing it before that, but then I went on it afterwards to move my save over.
Then I might explain then.
Yeah, I had to install a second. Essentially, I had two versions of Fall Guys on my PS4. One was the new version for Epic, and one was the old version, and then it basically swapped the save over. Basically, that's probably what happened there. You probably didn't save the new file over it. What else have you been playing? Is it just Fall Guys and Paladins, or?
No, I've been playing Capcom Arcade Second Stadium.
All right. So is that like some classic retro Capcom games then, or?
Yeah, it's just the second combination. There's the first stadium which contains the classics.
No.
This one contains got classics, but in my opinion, it has a much better range of games.
All right.
And that includes the Knights of the Round and some other Street Fighter games, and you like Mega Man, right?
Yeah, I like Mega Man. It's great.
You've got two arcade games called Mega Man Power Battles 1 and 2, and I think it's really good because it just focuses on boss battles. And I did remember playing that, and it's just so good. Yeah. You should definitely check out for £3.25 each. Otherwise, you pay £40 for the whole set.
Ooh, okay, it's a bit steep.
I maybe got it for to get free wonders. You get it for free when you get it with Fighter Collection, but I didn't buy that game.
Yes.
So I instead paid for that along with Knights of the Round and the Mega Man Power Battle 1 for £3.25 each. And yeah, just really enjoying it. The free wonders is a compilation, you get free games.
All right.
And I think it's called the Midnight Warriors, the Chariot, and Don't Pull.
Okay.
I just remember seeing this game in the laser tag somewhere in Cornwall, and it's two arcade games. There's Street Fighter 2, and there's also free wonders where you get free games on it. And I think when I was a little kid, I just played on it. That laser tag thing's just it's just there's a meadery restaurant with it as well, but now it's just all completely replaced with a nightclub before it gets replaced with a Premier Inn with hotels in it. So times change, but I just thought I would revisit that gem playing free wonders, and yeah, it's really good. Midnight Warriors is a bit a 16-bit revamp of Ghosts and Goblins, whatever this is.
Yeah, Ghosts and Goblins, yeah.
And Chariot is a bit like Gladius with fantasy elements in. But Don't Pull is super cutesy, and you just push blocks to kill enemies. So it's really good, and it's hard to believe it's from Capcom. Yeah,
I love me some retro stuff.
I really do Yeah, it's really worth giving a visit. Plus, I got it working with the arcade stick, which I got for Killer Instinct, and got it working. The only thing is, you have to remap the insert coin, which is snapped to the click on a white thumbstick. It doesn't have that unless you switch between controls.
Wow.
I mean, the thumbstick and the D-pad. So you have to remap it to one of the face buttons or anything like that.
That's annoying.
So you can insert coins and then start the game.
Yeah. It's an infinite amount of coins. Okay, now I'll start playing.
Well, you did get achievement for like inserting 9 coins for 9
Oh,
credits.
easy then. Oh, perfect.
In fact, yeah, it's quite easy to get like the third of achievements. Otherwise, the rest of it, if you like to get 1,000 points, you had to grind on it.
Yeah.
Like you play any game for up to 100 hours, or you play the game like 1,000 times.
Ooh, that's a lot.
It's the same kind. It's the same achievement set as you get with this first stadium, and they obviously haven't learned from the backlash on them.
No.
But then again, all that matters is just get the arcade someone to play, and yeah, the emulation is pretty good. Not the most perfect, but it's done like using the Resident Evil engine,
All right.
and it just like goes around smoothly. So I have to say, this is much. It's a much better collection than the quality I get from the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Edition.
Oh, nice. Fair enough. I've been playing different stuff. I've been playing Omno. You recommended it 2 weeks ago. Essentially, it was going off Game Pass, and I was like, oh, I've got 2 days to complete it. So I decided to complete it in those 2 days. Got 1,000 gamer score on it. It was quite fun. It was basically Legend of Zelda, sort of, but not quite as good. I don't know. It's like, yeah, you've played it already, haven't you? So it's like 10 areas.
Yes.
It's like 10 areas that you just got to go around exploring and collecting items and finding these animal creatures and stuff. And you can do gliding and all that from like Breath of the Wild. It's all right. I was going to say it's worth playing on Game Pass, but it's no longer on Game Pass, so you've missed your opportunity there. If I'm getting looking distracted, by the way, it's because my dog's down there and she wants attention, so I just keep looking down briefly. That's what, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just looking.
Yeah.
If I keep looking down, that's what it is. Also, my notes are on my phone, which is on the other side of me, so it's like multitasking. Also played.
I got an ultra wide monitor so I can keep track.
Track of me.
But yeah, the added this thing is that Olmo is. I played it. It's particularly repetitive. Like you just go through, collect the same things, and then you solve some not so difficult puzzles. But I think the biggest problem is when you keep track of animals, you don't know which animals you unlocked, and if you go through to another area and you missed one, and you're like, oh gosh, I had to go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
But I think it may have been fixed. But it was really frustrating. Like it's really difficult to keep track of the animals. But everything else is like just simple. Each area, you know what to do. There isn't a lot of challenge involved, but it just takes about like between 2 to 4 hours to beat.
Yeah, you have to do it in one. Well, you can't go back to previous chapters or anything because that messes up the achievements for some reason. You have to do it in order, which is that took a while, but I enjoyed it for what it was. It was just I just followed a guide. It was pretty straightforward. And I've also been playing Forza Horizon 5 Hot Wheels, which is just stupid fun. It's just going around very fast on giant Hot Wheels tracks, which like basically got like, if you've not played it, it's like they have Hot Wheels tracks and it is almost like connected up like helicarriers from like Marvel like Avengers kind of thing. Like it's like sort of float. It's like you're flying over Mexico and there's also some islands in the sky as well, which you can go through lava and ice and rainforests and stuff. It's very weird but very cool at the same time.
So how does it play like Trackmania if you know these games?
A bit. I mean, it plays like Forza Horizon really, but you also have like there's like magnet tracks and stuff, and these loop de loops and stuff. So that you do still have like the Hot Wheels stuff where it's ridiculous stunts you could pull off. It's essentially it just plays like normal Forza, but just a bit faster and a bit more wacky, and like the tracks are a bit. I said the tracks can be a bit insane. Like you just look like you're going straight down like vertically into a volcano. So they're saying it's almost like an adult theme park really. Like that's what they were saying. It's like a theme park for people who like driving cars essentially. Like every track is like a roller coaster. It's like ridiculous loops and ups and downs and stuff. It's a lot of fun. I'm enjoying it. I haven't finished it yet, but I'm still working on it. But I am That's the game I'm playing the most at the moment is Forza Horizon 5. I would recommend it for anyone who's on the fence about playing it. I think it's a lot of fun. Definitely worth playing. That's all I've been playing this week. Is there anything else you wanted to say about what you've been playing this week?
That's all.
So we're going to get on to the news.
News.
Big Daddy Uncle Phil has announced...
Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil has announced...
What's next? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Yeah, big Uncle Phil Spencer has announced that his game he's most looking forward to playing is God of War Ragnarok. I mean, the console wars are over, I guess, because the head of Xbox wants to play a PlayStation game. I don't know. I mean, my most anticipated game is Pokemon Violet, and that's not an Xbox game either. So, I mean, it's pretty easy to not be anticipating any Xbox games when there's no Xbox games coming out. I mean, it's High on Life and Pentiment and Scorn, but there's not really anything like AAA, like major coming out this year.
Well, there's a God of War on Xbox Store right now.
Oh, yeah.
It's not what you're expecting.
I've seen that, yeah. War of the Gods or something, like a fake, like a knockoff one, which is hilarious.
Yeah, there's like £3.40 and you get like War God's Suicive Child, and it's just basically a mini game where you just like play as Kratos and like kill enemies on your Xbox.
Amazing, 10 out of 10.
The reason they just get through is just like it doesn't have any in-game music or sound effects, but it is part of the Xbox Creators Collection, which I doubt if it's got any achievements with it. But it does allow you to like sell the game through to the Xbox Store without the Microsoft's usual certification and approval.
That doesn't seem legal or correct that they could do that.
Yeah.
Surely that's got to be illegal, or like some kind of. Oh, I don't like the sound now. I would say if people want to,
but it does have.
If people want to play God of War,
yeah,
that badly and don't have a PlayStation, I would recommend maybe you just play Hellblade or something instead of playing this knockoff God of War. I'm gonna be honest. There's other games that are similar that you can play. I think Hellblade is probably the closest we got to God of War at the moment. I'm trying to think if there's any other ones that were similar kind of style action story games on Xbox. I don't know.
Well, I can add that the same developer has also made the game most recently, and it's called, like, just 2 days later, after they released that game, they released a Dinosaur Falling Survival, also by £3.29. Involves a full guy wearing a Yoshi costume and goes through the obstacle course to get to the goal. Oh. So they're obviously bringing out some like clones or some sort.
Yeah, so I don't know how they're not getting done for copyright for that kind of stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think it just because if Microsoft has already brought it down, because when I clicked on the link to go to it, I think they just took the. Yeah, it looks like as if they took the game down. Good. I'll just go check the other game as well, because it also like uses copyright stuff. Dinosaur Falling Survival. Oh, this one is still up, but it looks as if you don't get the God of War clone on it anymore. By the looks of it.
Oh no! What a shame. But yeah, I would recommend if you want to play God of War, play Hellblade. That's probably the closest thing we have on Xbox at the moment. If you guys can think of anything better, let me know in the comments below. I'm sure there is something better. There's more of a 1-to-1, but I can't think of anything off the top of my head. Yeah, I like those type of games though. So recommend it. But yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat as Phil Spencer. I'm looking forward to God of War Ragnarok. Maybe not as much as most people are. I mean, I recently played the 2018 version. I thought it was good, but it's not. I don't see what people see it like saying it's like the greatest game ever made and stuff like that. I feel like that's a bit of a mismatch, honestly.
All I can say is the PlayStation 2 original beats everything. That's coming from me who hasn't played the PlayStation 4 original. Yeah. I mean the Norse mythology
remake,
one.
Yeah.
So it could well be like really good, and you also play it on the PC.
Yeah.
but I still have fond memories of what made God of War like so good in the first place.
I mean, the 2018 one is a lot of fun. It's not a bad game. It's a good game. I would say it's definitely an 8 or a 9 out of 10. But when people say it's the greatest game ever made and stuff, I'm like, is it though? It's a bit. Is it though? Like in the word of 4, is it though? Really?
I think obviously that I think there's like console wars.
Yeah.
Like you just do feel as if you don't have much, and you feel really modest about this game. Whereas people who've like stuck by PlayStation stand by the likes of God of War and bits like that. But speaking of which, Stray beats God of War as Steam's best user-rated game of 2022.
Oh, okay. That's fair enough. I thought
It's
isn't Power Wash Simulator up there as well. I thought that was the
Yes, because Power Simulator has reached about almost 1 million players on Xbox, and it's helped with the Xbox Game Pass, whereas PC users have used the PC Game Pass to reach 200,000 users, which according to this analytics user, it says less than a week into official release, Power Watch has had a strong start. Concurrent users peaked at 60,000 for Xbox, 40,000 for PC Game Pass, and 10,000 for Steam. Having spent over the year in early access and Steam, we estimate around 500,000 Steam players so far. And that's according to the MPG analytics, but that was like 2 weeks ago. So maybe the stats may have changed.
Yeah. I mean,
but anyway, so right now, like, I got this article there which is written on the time of writing. It says Stray is currently sitting at a score of 8.61 based on votes on Steam 250, and it looks like that Stray is already like making memes and got cats reacting to it.
Yeah.
And maybe you can get it on like PC or the PlayStation 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's on for the Game of the Year.
I won't go that
But
far,
then,
but...
well, we'll just have to see about that, see when they get to the Game Awards. But you know, I did one of those predictions on like about weeks ago where we predicted which games would be the Game of the Year.
Yeah.
One of which is Stray. And so far, it's looking likely you may snag the Game of the Year award. But just watch the space, really.
Yeah, I feel like it's just a meme at the moment, to be honest. Everyone's just hyped for it. I think give it a week or so and I think it'll just die out, to be honest. It's like, ooh, it's a cat game, and that's literally it. Like everyone's just like, that's literally that's all anyone cares about is a cat game. Like most reviews say it's like pretty average and not the best game. Like it's like, oh, okay, it's like you can play a cat, but that's about it. It's not got much plot to it and much depth to it. It's about 3 or 4 hour game. It's not, I don't really see the hype behind it myself, to be honest. I haven't played it though, so maybe I'm wrong. But to me, it looks like it's just one of those type of games where it's just like it's trendy to like it at the moment. I don't know, like Goose Game was like this a couple of years ago. Everyone was like, "Ooh, Goose Game," and now everyone's just like, why were we so obsessed?
I bought it on Xbox. I bought it on Xbox, and I have yet to start playing it.
I played it a little bit. It was
anyway.
Alright.
Yeah.
Animal games are very successful.
Yeah. Anyway, speaking of games that are likely to die out, Halo Infinite is going to receive the next update on August, and this will be a huge, big update where it will finally bring out cross-core customization, starting with visors. So there's rumors it may add coatings and I think it was helmets as well, which you can use across different cores. You still get the cores there, but it will start allowing you to use pieces from like other cores to put on your armor.
Okay.
So now, what you most definitely get is the visor customization, but it hasn't rolled out whether they would bring coatings with it as well.
I feel like
the next pod. Yeah.
I feel like visors and coatings should be like the bare minimum that they have on multiple things. I quite like having I got like 5 different Spartans, and they all got different styles to them. But I can see why people would want to have mixed coating to mix. What was it? Just a mixture of. I forgot the word you said now.
Yeah.
What are they called? Cores, mixed cores. I can see why people would want to have a mixture of
cross cores.
Cross cores. I think vases and colors should be bare minimum, definitely. It's like I'll get a new armor set and I'll be like, ooh, I'll have like a red vase, like vaser over the front, and it's like, oh, I only have like blue. Never mind. Like that is a bit ridiculous that you can't change the color of the visors very often, or haven't got much choice on it. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I
would also add that also in this August drop pod, there will be buffs of vehicles, as well as some changes to sidearms and impulse on warthogs. So there's going to be like a bunch of fixes and rebalancing stuff. And hopefully, which now is going to be claimed as if it will arrive next week, is a cross-core customization. And vices will be a huge starting point. But speaking of which, if you check out Twitch, if you link your Halo account to it, and if you watch the Halo Championship Series finals on like 5th of August to 7th of August, you have a chance to unlock a plasma grenade charm, as well as some special red coating, which is used to be called Grassroots, but it's now called Primal Glory.
Okay. So you need to connect it to Twitch and then watch the tournament.
Well, no, I mean, you just need to sign in your Microsoft account. Make sure you can access it on Xbox.com. Then you go over to Halo and Waypoint website, where it's a bit hard to navigate, but there should be a help page on how you can connect your Xbox account to your Twitch account. And once you're there on it, you then need to watch 2 hours of some championship games between 5th of August and 7th of August. And it will be starting from like 5 o'clock UK time, I hope.
Damn.
Then, as for the armor coating, it will be on Sunday where the grand finals take place. But you only need to watch them for about 1 hour in order to unlock the armor coating. So this is something that I want to make sure I'm around for it, because that armor coating is one of my favorites to get during season 2 of Halo. Because after all, the store is already running out of new stuff to sell, so it's just like not so great. Although the gloves, if you don't mind grinding the challenges for it, then you get a nice glove to go with your Mark 7 armor. But that's about it. So hopefully the August drop pod will offer more content. There's the Appian stuff, which is rumored to come out at earlier September. And there should be some online co-op, which could arrive around August as well.
Hopefully. I'm hoping we get some stuff soon. Love Halo Infinite.
We should definitely play co-op campaign once this releases.
Definitely.
Because I would definitely give you a lending hand, get a legendary, and hopefully get some like infinite ammo from the skull.
Oh, that'd be good. I want to try and unlock. So I still haven't got all the skulls on there yet. Well, I still haven't beaten the legendary. Beating the game in normal, heroic, and completed a heroic single player, but I haven't done any of the I've got a couple of skulls, but I need to also beat it in under 8 hours. I think that's the speedrun one, is under 8 hours, isn't it? The achievement.
Yeah.
So
I've got all of those single player achievements, but I have yet to unlock the rest of the multiplayer achievements. So hopefully it just allows me to like use all of my skulls to help you out.
Yeah, fingers crossed.
And then we can go for the lasso one.
Oh, lasso.
But I think it's easier because there's no iron skull this time, which means the best you can get is just like respawning from the checkpoint.
Oh, that's not too bad.
Well, I mean, we can respawn, but there's also like a scorpion gale which I can get, which will blast everyone out, whilst you can like help deal with the enemies. I don't know what's your stance of like using glitches in order to complete the game, but
I'm always up for it. I mean, we said this before. I'm a huge fan of cheese in games. I'm like lasagna, like cheese on top of cheese on top of cheese for me. I love me some cheese in games. If I can break the game and get 1,000 game score by breaking the game, I'll totally do that. Or just I'm totally down for that. I just find it funny and fun to a lot of the time, to be honest. So yeah, scorpion guns for everyone. Let's just destroy the.
Let's do it.
Let's just break the game.
Let's do it now.
No wonder it took so long for the co-ops. Like they waited for this not to break it. Yeah. So.
But yeah.
I mean,
let's go to the bigger news.
Yeah. So the big news is the big news this week is that Sony is scared of losing Call of Duty. The Call of Duty exclusivity they wanted exclusivity sorry. They're worried that if Xbox has Call of Duty exclusive, that it will drive players to Xbox. Like, no shit, Sherlock. I mean, this is coming from Sony.
Well, mind you, it's comes out on PC too, but it uses Battle.net, so it's still like going into Xbox territory.
It's just the fact that it's Sony. They're like going, "Oh, if Xbox has this exclusive, it's going to drive people to Xbox." Coming from the company that has like tons of exclusives and buys exclusives like Final Fantasy VII, where they like it's not even their game, but they just bought the rights to it, so Xbox players can't have it. It's ridiculous, and they're like, they were saying stuff like Call of Duty has broken through to the mainstream the same way as Star Wars and Game of Thrones and Spider and Marvel and all that. So, well, you've got exclusive rights to Spider-Man, and like Spider-Man's one of the biggest crossover IPs in the world by by a mile. Like everyone knows Spider-Man, and you've got that exclusive. Why can't we have Call of Duty? I don't understand.
Well, they stressed in over something that they're worried of losing. Yeah. And yet they got other franchises too. I mean, Bungie, for instance, they already got that.
Yeah, like Bungie, I would say. I was thinking about this yesterday. I would say Destiny 2 is probably the second biggest shooter in the world. I would imagine, like live service. I mean, you got Overwatch, you've got Battlefield, and you've got Halo. But I feel like Battlefield fallen off a cliff. Overwatch, a lot of people have lost interest in. You know, Overwatch 2's coming up soon, but a lot of people don't like Overwatch 2. And Halo, well, every week we talk about how Halo's kind of gone to shit. So I do feel like maybe Destiny 2 is probably the second biggest shooter on the market, I would say.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned those things. Like, Overwatch, if you're not satisfied with it, play Paladins.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you just... You working for Paladins? You seem to... and they paid you off.
No. I'm not trying to, promote this. I mean, this is not a paid promotion, of course. I just got into it because of Ruby.
Yeah, I'm joking.
There's some of the awards I would have gotten, do the battle pass and stuff like that. But it was this year that I got into it because of the Ruby crossover pass. And I'm like, yeah, it's a good game and worth checking out if somehow Overwatch doesn't get any better. Yeah. As for the Destiny, I played it in 2015 on PlayStation 4. Got off it because I squeezed out all of the juice out. And now, when the Destiny 2 came out and got other bits in there, it sounded like a big game. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely one of those games where it had a shit start and then it just got big. Just like what happened to Master Chief Collection. And I imagine this is what's going to happen to Halo Infinite. I mean, this practice is just kind of sucks.
Yeah. I like Destiny. I haven't played it in a long time, though. The thing is, they have a problem with getting new players on board. Essentially, if you're new to I was gonna say Halo then. If you're new to Destiny, there's no way of they vaulted all the old content, so you can't even see how the story began or anything like that. So it's very weird. But I mean, that's kind of off topic anyway. But what we're saying is they've got Call of Duty. If they lose Call of Duty, they lose the biggest crossover franchise. Which they have Spider-Man, which is crossover, big crossover appeal. And they said they're going to lose the biggest shooter on the market when they have the second biggest shooter on the market. It's I don't know.
Yeah. I still remember doing the Twitch stream reviewing it. And we were going around shooting enemies. then I was saying like, oh, look at this area. You can check out the view, and then you sat down on the cliffside and you had a look, and then I got in the speeder and pushed you off the cliff, and then it killed you.
Oh,
And then you
that's
just
funny.
like got angry and say, whoa, 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 easy. I don't know how exactly you said that, but yeah, you just got a bit salty
I
after
don't
that, and
remember
then
that at all.
it just.
Are you sure that was me? I don't remember that. But yeah.
I showed it a Twitch clip,
Okay, I'll have a look
and I
later.
don't know if I can get it on YouTube,
That's
but
funny.
we also went to the cave where we just
The loot
farmed
cave.
on the enemies because,
The
yeah,
lovely
that's
loot
right. They just
cave.
keep. They just got the enemies coming out of it like a lot, and people just keep interfering with it. Bungie was originally going to keep it in, but then they're worried about like players reporting people for like grinding on this and thinking it's cheating, so they just got rid of it, which sucks.
Yeah, I like.
If they kept it in, that would have kept us like playing Destiny.
Yeah, I mean that's what we were saying about cheese earlier. It's like everyone thinks it's cheese. It's like cheating and it's like cheese, and I'm like, yes, loot cave. I'll just camp outside the loot cave for like a day. Like everyone else is like, this is ridiculous. And I'm like, loot cave, loot cave, loot cave. Like when I was a kid, I would like the Masingo cheat in Pokemon. I would just be basically cloning my rare candies with, like all the time, or just cloning my Master Balls. I just cheat so much on Pokemon with the Masingo glitch. It's the same thing. If I find a good cheese, I will exploit the hell out of it. I don't care. It's just enjoyable to me.
First time I met up with Missing Out, it kind of corrupted parts of my save. I don't know if it's a cheat device which I forgot to turn off when I was saving the game that ruined it, or if it's a Missing Go that kind of screwed it up.
If you get Masingo and then save the game afterwards, it messes up your Hall of Fame, but that's about it, really. So if you watch the Hall of Fame back, all your Pokemon are all like glitched out.
I turned it off without saving, and I still get that effect.
I don't know, but yeah, I used to do that all the time on Pokemon. I used to just cheat all the time. I didn't care. It was too much fun. But yeah, anyway.
It's really good if you want to get loads of Master Balls, though.
Yeah. So obviously back to the topic at hand. I also found it was hilarious. The Xbox came out like a couple of days later saying we have no essential games. That's not a thing. We don't have essential games. So like Sony's like going, you're getting the best game ever made ever. Please don't. And then we're like, no, we're not. This game is shit. We're just buying. It's like what a weird way to argue about your game. It's ridiculous. Yeah, so like Sony considers this an essential game that is almost like a monopoly. If you get Call of Duty, they're saying that it's so big that nothing can compete with it, and there's no even if they had the money and the resources, that no other company could make a Call of Duty. Which I don't believe that. I don't think that's true. I feel like Fortnite and Apex and stuff are almost at that level when it comes to popularity. I mean, Fortnite might even be more popular than Call of Duty. I think it's weird. I'm not a huge Call of Duty person. I haven't played one since Black Ops 2.
Same.
I'll probably play it if it comes to Game Pass, but I'm not. I don't consider it a system seller for myself. I understand it's a big system seller for that one type of gamer that just plays FIFA or Call of Duty every year and that's it. And I know those type of gamers, but for me, it's not a system seller in the slightest. I couldn't care less if we had Call of Duty, to be honest. If you want to give us Spider-Man for Call of Duty, I'm up for that trade. PlayStation, just let us know, because I would much rather have Spider-Man 2.
It's not likely to happen. It's not likely to happen because the Spider-Man movie rights are still owned by Sony, so it makes sense for them to own the game rights to Spider-Man 2. So this one is least likely to be given out than any other franchise on like the PlayStation.
Yeah, I mean it is crazy though to me that Sony of all people have the cheek to be like, oh, they can't have an exclusive, it would ruin our sales. It's like, yeah, you do that. You like anyone who's played a JRPG on Xbox or wants a JRPG on Xbox has had to suffer from you stealing all the games on PlayStation. I don't, like, as I said, Final Fantasy VII, they've paid for exclusivity, and then they got the cheek to say that we can't get exclusivity for Call of Duty. It's crazy. I mean, do you feel like it's such a big game that if Call of Duty was not on PlayStation, that it would damage their? Do you think it would kill PlayStation if Call of Duty was gone? Like, do you think it's like that damaging? No. I don't either.
I think it's just it's most likely going to attract more players to Xbox, and that's it. But it won't destroy PlayStation because I think PlayStation's like bigger than Xbox right now.
Yeah.
And you've got lots of like biased fans and like defending it. But I think this is the same kind of arguments going on with Nintendo and Sega. Like Nintendo used to like buy all those different companies and get them to create for the NES, which is why it took longer for Konami and Capcom to start making games for the Sega Mega Drive, but you don't see them on the Master System. So, but if this was the podcast like 30 years ago, which podcasts didn't exist then, but if we're doing like a TV show, then it will be like doing the Nintendo fanboy against the Sega girls. So,
but yeah, I mean, it's funny you mentioned Nintendo. That's always been my argument with this. They're like going, if Call of Duty is gone from PlayStation, we'll die. And then it's like, just looking at my Nintendo Switch that has another Call of Duty game on it. And like the Nintendo Switch is like the highest selling console of this generation. And it's the top.
Is it?
It's the most popular console. And there's no Call of Duty on it. Like, you can play Paladins on your Switch, but that's about it. Like, always go back to Paladins. But there's no Call of Duty.
Oh, you still play Paladins on your Switch then?
I don't, but you can if you want to. That is on Switch. But I was just saying, it's just like there's no Call of Duty on Switch yet. The Switch is selling ridiculously high numbers. So them saying that PlayStation can't survive without Call of Duty is a bit ridiculous in my opinion. And saying that
I miss the Nintendo Wii, really. Yeah.
But if Nintendo can survive without Call of Duty, then surely Sony can. I don't understand how Sony can feel like we have a God-given right to have Call of Duty on our system. It's like, no, tough shit. You lost it. It's over. Go away. You know, I feel like PlayStation, instead of just being like, they sound desperate here, and I also feel like they're trying to cling on to this Call of Duty thing. Instead of doing that, they should try and make their. I know they said no one could make a Call of Duty, but I think they could do their own. They could push Destiny 2, or they could make a new SOCOM or a new Killzone or a new Resistance. I'm sure they could make a new game that a shooter and push it and make it like this is the biggest shooter ever, and put marketing behind it and stuff. I'm sure they could manage something, you know.
I think they should have been like make it easier for developers to use cross progression and cross buy across all consoles. I think that's a huge solution.
Yeah, or they should just put Game Pass on PlayStation already and just let us play Call of Duty for that. I would totally do that.
Well, this is that service you mentioned of. That's actually called PlayStation Plus Extra.
No, but I mean actual Game Pass. I mean the good one, not PlayStation Plus Extra.
I'm most likely gonna see it on Steam or even the Nintendo Switch than to see it on the PlayStation.
Oh yeah, that's the last holdout. I think on Game Pass, it's going to be PlayStation. That's going to be the final blow of when I feel like Game Pass will be on Steam Deck and on the Steam at some point, and then Switch maybe a later date.
Yeah.
But PlayStation is going to be the last one standing. I think they're going to fight tooth and nail to not let that happen.
Well, at the moment, you can only stream on a Steam Deck unless you install Windows for the Game Pass. Yeah. But I think really that they should really work with Valve, because Valve really wants to get Xbox Game Pass on Steam and even get it working on Steam Deck on the Steam OS. Now that would definitely be something. It's just Microsoft is a bit afraid of like giving it out willy-nilly when they got it exclusively on like Windows 10.
Yeah.
But me, I tend to like rely on Mac or Linux, and I don't particularly like using Windows. So, yeah.
Do you think you're going to be playing Modern Warfare 2 then if it comes to Game Pass this year, or do you think you're just going to be skipping over it again? Because I think I'll probably give it a try if it's on Game Pass, but I'm not going to pay £70, £60 for it.
I'm more likely to play Overwatch with Game Pass.
That's fair.
But then again, it doesn't have any cross progression because I got a progression from like PlayStation and PC. Yeah. Like if I don't transfer the purchases from those two platforms over to Xbox, then it just means like it's not worth playing the Xbox unless I want to pay for more the same kind of cosmetics I have on all those other platforms. Which is why I haven't been playing a lot of Overwatch.
Yeah.
And it's tied to either PC or PlayStation.
So I mean, Overwatch.
Cross progression is very important.
Yeah. Well, Overwatch 2 is free to play, and it's going to have all the stuff carried over, so you don't have to make a purchasing decision. At least it's just going to be free on all consoles, so it's going to be interesting.
Well, once they get the stuff over from like PC, like if it allow us to bring our purchases from PC to Xbox, then we'll be talking.
Yeah,
that's the only problem here.
So, is there anything else you want to talk about when it comes to this Call of Duty exclusivity, or?
I think we spoke enough on that.
So we're on to our topic of the show. Topic of the show, or whatever. Do some kind of jingle. That's Mario, but whatever. So our topic of the show is the end of this show on Potato Chief on YouTube. We're moving over to X Marks the Box YouTube. Link is in the description. Is a new channel which is X Marks the Box. We're going to be doing all gaming stuff over to there. I think, Alice, you've got a couple of things planned you wouldn't mind doing. I put a load of our shorts up on there, like the short videos, which are like 30 seconds to 3 minutes. A lot of them are going up on there, and I'm gonna maybe cut out some news items. And if there's a Pokemon Direct going on today, I was thinking of doing a reaction to that, but I might not bother. But like stuff like that will be.
Why not?
Because it's I think
if it's a Pokemon Nintendo Direct, that's gonna be lots of good news. Possibly. So maybe it's worth like reacting to it and put it on Xbox the Box.
Yeah, I might do that
if you're up for it.
Yeah, I might do that in a minute. See how I feel in a bit. But yeah, so there's that.
Because at the moment, like you got like 2 videos there, except there's the As Dusk Falls review and there's the episode 0 of the podcast, which in the moment you got the playlist which has links to the Potato Chief's podcast episodes. But then you also did only one shot at the moment, and it's like the reenaction of like I think it was the Bungie being sold the Sony one, but it's just like reached over 200 views at the moment, which is a particularly good start in my terms after starting the channel. But it's got like 5 subscribers at the moment, so it's just crossing our fingers.
Yeah,
really.
so I mean, I'm hoping you guys will subscribe to the new channel. Links in the description. We only have 5. We have 5 subscribers. We want to try and get to at least 100 before the end of the year. I mean, that should be a reasonable goal. 4 months we got to get to like 100. We want to keep going with that, obviously. So I mean, this channel is now being rebranded to Potato Pro Wrestling, which is basically I'm going to be doing all pro wrestling stuff going forward on this channel. There's a couple of reasons, because Vince McMahon is now retired, so wrestling's actually interesting again. I was kind of lost all interest in wrestling, and I was just kind of lip service, just doing the bare minimum to keep going. But now I'm like, ooh, I'm really excited for wrestling, and I'm like, okay, I could do videos on this for weeks, like every day now, which is what I'm planning to do. And then
that's good.
Also, because I've launched my own Patreon, which I felt like if I was going to do Patreon, I feel like separating them. So I feel like maybe Xbox the Box will have a Patreon at some point, but because it's so small at the moment, there's no point. But once maybe we get to a couple of 1,000 subscribers, I think we will probably launch an Xbox the Box Patreon. But because I'm hoping that you guys, if you like wrestling and you've liked the channel, will go sign up to my Patreon on Potato Chief or Potato Pro Wrestling Patreon. Just for free for shout outs and stuff. That's essentially all I got on there at the moment. But
so what's the other things when you like pay extra for the tiers every month? Because I think you pay at least £2 to get your name mentioned on the top of the video.
Yeah.
So
it's free.
What's the point of like?
So it's £3 to get your name entered in the video at the end of the video. You can do that by becoming a YouTube member or by becoming a patron. With a YouTube membership, you get special emojis and a badge next to your name saying how long you've been a member. If you become a Patreon, you get access to the Discord server that has you become a Potato Club member by joining that. But if you go for a higher tiers, you get there's gonna be Q&A, so you can ask question and answers and stuff like that, and like other little things. And then also you become an elite member, which means you get private access to a private channel on the Discord for elite members, and you get a gold name. Your name's gonna be in gold in the titles, and also I'll read your name out personally on the channel. If you pay £10 or more, you'll get your name read out loud. So it's not, I know they're not massive, like amazing tiers, like whoa, but I'm just like, I'm hoping that you guys will be able to support me, and I mean, I've been looking at Patreon for a while, and what I will say is just to have goals that are achievable and like and not ridiculous. Like I didn't want to come up with goals like saying I'll make 1,000 videos in a week if you pay this much money. Essentially I'm trying to keep it reasonable at the moment, and we'll come up with new perks and stuff as the channel grows, hopefully. So, but at the moment we're just shout outs and discords essentially, and Q&As. So it's not massive Patreon, but I'm hoping we can get this started and get some stuff over there, and hopefully yeah, I mean, I'm hoping to use this Patreon to kind of so my job in real life is kind of becoming a bit of a struggle, so I'm hoping that I can try and transition into doing YouTube more full time, so I can do more of YouTube.
Yeah, I think that's going to be particularly important. But I think now, like the main channel, you used to do like let's plays
Yeah.
and you play with friends. But I think it's all completely changed as it's just shifted more towards reactions.
Yeah.
And you reacting to some wrestling stuff. So
Yeah.
Potato Achiever was originally a gaming channel,
Yeah.
but now it just becomes more wrestling oriented.
It's true.
Which makes it more important to like split the game stuff from it into the Xbox box.
Yeah.
Plus, I got like extra ownership of the channel, which means I would be able to have more creativity with the YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Like I've already done the profile banner and the profile picture for it,
Yeah.
but now I'm just like planning for some like faceless videos and talk about all this Xbox stuff. And I would just come up with some more ideas. It's just at the moment, like I don't have the best internet connection speed, so I don't have a lot of creativity to do like editing videos and uploading them to YouTube. Because whenever I upload them using the Wi-Fi router, it kind of slows down the internet. So it's just like have a lot of limited range of what I can do for the channel.
Yeah. So I mean, as I said, I'm hoping to do Potato Pro Wrestling as more of a full-time job now, do more videos and stuff, and then also do Xbox the Box as well as my secondary thing. I love doing gaming content, and I think it's great, and I do feel like if you had a Venn diagram of people who like wrestling and people who like video games, the overlap would be quite large, but I still felt it was important to maybe split the two up, because if people are paying money to my Patreon for wrestling content, if I start doing gaming content, they might get a bit annoyed. So, but yeah, hopefully this will become a bigger channel as well. We're hoping to get to, as I said, 100. Is that a reasonable goal to you? I think 100 by the end of the year. I think that's our goal. I'm trying to,
Yeah, works really.
fingers crossed. I would love that. That'd be fantastic. We're at 5 at the moment, so that's not a great start. I mean, we haven't got.
Well, I've done
video,
some like.
so.
I just got like done a few Xbox oriented ones, and when I did the comparisons between Halo 4 and Halo Reach sounds, which I don't know if it's worth re-uploading to Xbox Spot to mark the 10th anniversary for it. Preferably if I find a video of it, but I think it's just got like about thousands of views. Like about, I think the one that does UNSC weapons has got like over 20,000. Then I did like random videos like F-Zero and Naruto, and as well as like retro games and Minecraft.
Okay.
Didn't get as much, but when I went to do the games channel, I did the Let's Plays, but they didn't get on well, and it's like almost 10 years, which I got off it pretty quickly.
Yeah.
But then when I did things like mods to use Sonic Mania and those bits like that, it got like thousands of views. One of them when I just put the Pure music. Well, I think Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine music over the Pure boss fight in Sonic Mania.
Yeah.
When I did the video and like played it, I was like stacking the Pures, hoping for the big chain of combo, and then there's like comments saying, "Oh, this is bad. You're about to lose," and then everyone was just banged up and like gave negative comments. So I just turned the comments off.
Okay.
But then I just ended up like putting memes like like say you will not beat me, and then you laugh at those funny clips.
Yeah,
It's not turned into a proper meme. But the last one I did is like the island tour of my Animal Crossing island, and that's about it. I just left it alone. Well, I just try to like decide on what to do with the YouTube life.
Yeah.
So trying to step back from it.
I understand.
But
yeah. It's like I love doing Let's Plays and stuff. They just never got the views that I would like to keep them going. Hopefully we'll do some decent stuff though. I'm hoping obviously we're going to keep doing the podcast. That's going to be the big draw hopefully of the channel, is there's going to be the weekly podcast, which is Thursday at 5 p.m. BST or GMT. But boom, advertisement. Also going to cut out funny parts from the podcast and other stuff. Hopefully, and hopefully, I mean, we might do some Let's Plays. I just need to get my recording set up to do it, which is
oh, that's a good thing, because you have yet to figure out on how you can record for not just your Xbox Series X, but also your PlayStation 5.
Exactly.
Because isn't this just as easy as like plugging in a HDMI and then record footage that way?
I mean, kind of, but they've both got 4K HDMI cables, so I'd have to swap the cables out, and it's like, well, I'm playing all my games in 4K. I'm not going to play them in like 1080p or whatever when I've just got the brand new console and the brand new TV. So it's just like,
because I used to have a really good recording box that you just plug your HDMI and you plug it into your TV. And I use it to like record clips that goes into the device's hard drive instead of anywhere else. And that one's like really useful. But I think it's just like a bit old now, because I think it can go up to about 1080p, unless I'm mistaken, of course.
Yeah.
But the quality, not the best last time I checked, but I think it's probably because of YouTube. But it doesn't do 4K, so it just kind of like makes a challenge for it. So it's a bit more challenging on how we can deal with the resolutions, as far as I know.
That's the issue I got as well, is the recording box and trying to get it set up correctly. That's what I'm going to work on, see if I can figure out a way around it. But yeah, so I would love to do bring back PCCW, Potato Chief Championship Wrestling. That'd be funny, or All Chief Wrestling. Just basically make WWE 2K games videos, but it's just obviously recording is the thing.
So, but if you were to bring that back, which channel are you going to upload it to?
That's the question, isn't it? I'd probably put it on Potato Pro Wrestling, to be honest, but because it is pro wrestling.
I can see that.
But yeah, no, I could try and do some Let's Plays and other stuff if we can get the recording equipment working. I love doing video game stuff, but obviously try to divide the two. So if you like professional wrestling, go subscribe to Potato Pro Wrestling. If you like video games, please subscribe to Xbox The Box. We're going to be working very hard on trying to make both channels a success. So fingers crossed. Because this is more Xbox The Box, as Alice said, is more of a collaborative channel. So we're going to be both making videos for it. Whereas Potato Pro Wrestling is kind of my baby, my thing. So yeah. Also, as I said, Patreon really would help me out. As I said, I'm struggling with my real life job, so I would love to do this full time, and then I could literally, if I could do this full time, I could dedicate more time to Xbox The Box as well. So there's a little incentive for you to pay Patreon on the other channel, so I can actually help on this one a bit more as well.
I think it's still like going to be big in September, because your main channel is about to like. Well, I think it will be next year when your main channel is ready to go to secondary school based on age.
Well, it's 10 at the moment. It's nearly 11 at the moment, yeah. Yeah, I've been doing it because I put a Patreon video up and it's about to go up in about an hour. And at the beginning, I go, "Welcome to this brand new channel that I've been working on for 10 years." this channel has been around. This brand new 10-year-old channel. But yeah, I've been doing this a while. I'm a bloody old curmudgeon, old man. Like, just I've been here since the beginning. I've been here longer than Game Grumps. God damn it!
And you also came out the same age as Markiplier, but then you just end up like being a middle-aged somebody who does stuff in his bedroom.
Yeah. Yeah, same. Story of my life. Yeah, I think that's really all we have to say today. I think that's more or less it, isn't it? There's anything else you wanted to discuss?
Well, in comparison, I got like writing and art opportunities, and I'm doing well with art, and it's quite likely I may do commissions. But I'm also like trying to focus on the books, and might even do articles or blogs. But watch the space. But as for the X marks the box, I would try to see if I can get more content into it. So watch your space.
Yeah, fair enough. Also, if anyone knows of anyone who wants someone who does video editing or voiceover or anything like that, any kind of commission, I'd be up for trying to help out with anything, because I've been doing YouTube for 10 years. I'm sure I can help you guys out.
Get some extra hands.
Yeah. As I said, I'm struggling with work at the moment, so it would be helpful to me as well if any of you guys knew anything like that. Yeah, that's it for me today. I think that's it really for the podcast, right?
Yeah, I think this is going to be running up to the hour, but
Yeah.
if it turns out to be over the hour, then we apologize that we're just basically ones who chatted so much and somehow doing it with a lot of improvisation.
Yeah.
And because of that, no.
We're aiming for around an hour each episode, but we've gone up to 2 hours the last two episodes, so hopefully this will be about an hour long. Thank you guys for watching. If you're watching on the Potato Chief / Potato Pro Wrestling channel, goodbye forever. We will miss you. And also just come over to the Xbox
Bye.
box.
And enjoys too much wrestling with the only dude in Wales who reacts to too many wrestling vids. But if you're on like Xbox, then if you like Xbox and you want to do things like that, then check out the Xbox box. So yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and until next time, too sweet. There it is, guys.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to the X Marks the Box podcast. Follow us at X Marks Box on Twitter or X Marks the Box on YouTube. And follow us on all audio podcast services. Thanks for listening.